Jeff DeCuir has a BFA from the University of Texas, San Antonio, is an instructor at the International Academy of Design and Technology, San Antonio, but is also one half of the band, Hyperbubble. And an intrinsic component of Hyperbubble is the integration of pop culture and performing and visual arts into performances, music videos, and packaging. And in keeping with their art background, the band debuted at the Cactus Bra Space in Blue Star back in 2003, continues to perform in art spaces. 2007, they played in support of the opening of a new exhibit by the new wave musician artist of Devo, Mark Mothersbaugh, entitled Postcard Diaries. The band itself has produced standalone visual art to accompany their music, such as for the Covers and Sleeve Faces release at Lieu Commune in Toulouse, France. Please welcome Jeff DeCuir.
Thank you very much. This is the sound of Hyperbubble. Described in Wikipedia as a performing arts synth-pop duo, Hyperbubble consists of Jess and Jeff, as well as being musicians we both teach college art, and I've always been fascinated with pop culture. Believing the guitar had lost its power as a cultural symbol of progression and rebellion, we chose to use synthesizers because, frankly, lots of people still hate them. Since joining my first band at age 15, I've learned to never underestimate the importance of presentation. Every element must be addressed. The sound, the look, the concept, and the name of your product. I've also learned that to many, what a band symbolizes is just as important as how they sound. So more than just being a band, we see Hyperbubble as a series of symbols in the form of text, graphic art, fashion, audio, video, live performance, and photography. In fact, it was only when we got Photoshopped that we really knew we were ready to start a band. At the time of our arrival, flyers for shows by local bands were pretty much built around appropriated images. This seemed like a wasted opportunity. Flyer art has a tough job to do. It has to inspire people to break their routines, get in their cars, and go take a chance. So it needs to be something special. Equally important is our logo and our website, and both are intended to look like how our music sounds. The San Antonio Current observed that the Hyperbubble aesthetic on stage and through our website is defined by clean lines, lots of open space, primary colors, and a judicious underuse of words. Along with being onomatopoeic, the band's name suggests the influence of 60s pop, 70s disco, 80s post-punk, and 90s techno, basically hyperactive bubblegum music. The logo itself hints at the influence of pop art, mod, and minimalism. The color scheme reflects Hyperbubble's boy-girl membership. Now, we knew it was crucial in order to be seen as a real band to play live. And in doing so, we observed that people rarely dance and scream in front of 2D art like they do for live music. In fact, I've never seen anybody do a stage dive to a painting, though that would be cool to see. Our first album, Solid Pop, had a pink and blue CD cover with a bit of op art thrown in for good measure, and we debuted the album live on Ken's TV in San Antonio. Sorry, Randy. The video went viral and landed us a recording contract with a record label out of England. The label was called Filthy Little Angels. They did our second album for us. Our second album, Airbrushed Alibis, had a much bigger sound reflected in its multicolored cover art. And as usual, we photographed each other separately in our living room. And then we created a composite in Photoshop. A pink vinyl single was also released, which received airplay on BBC Radio and prompted us to tour the UK in 2008. So we played 2 shows in England, where I was dubbed the David Hasselhoff of synth-pop. And that was followed by 3 shows in Scotland, including a worldwide webcast, where the Scottish record label Bubblegum Records heard about these crazy Texans winning over the Scots, and we were offered yet another deal. So for Bubblegum Records, we teamed up with a Welsh pop star named Helen Love for a CD single, followed by the album Candy Apple Daydreams. And possibly attracted by its hand-drawn synthesizer fetish cover art, Keyboard Magazine claimed that the vibe is all about having too much fun to care if you look like a dork. And if you're too cool for that, then the joke's on you. Working with San Antonio filmmakers Mark and Angela Wally, we made an equally dorky music video for the title track, featuring our cat Smokey as a Bond villain type who thwarts us at every turn. Artist Justin Pyre guest starred in the video, which was also influenced by the UK Avengers and, of course, Scooby-Doo. The Express News ran an article about the video debut, and after we sent Jim Beal this photo of our cat Smokey reading his article, he ran that in the Express News online edition the next day. So it was kind of like a slow leak mixed media piece. It was an internet news site showing a photo of a cat reading about a video from a newspaper. After being selected as a band to play South by Southwest, we were also selected as visual artists for Passport Luminaria events. In 2010, we built and played inside this giant pink TV set, and we dressed as superheroes, and behind us we had video projections. And around the same time, we were working with the French label Winter Records on something called a sleeve face compilation album. Now, a sleeve face is made by strategically holding a record sleeve right in front of your face and then taking a photo. And ours was included on the CD cover, and it was also displayed at the Lou Common Art Gallery in Toulouse, France. And this attention led to a second tour of Europe in 2010, and the poster for that tour, which shows a gigantic hyperbubble standing atop planet Earth, was actually once again shot in our living room and manipulated in Photoshop. While playing in France, we also made a lot of field recordings to mix into our next album, Drastic Cinematic. Released on the German label, Pure Pop for Now People, Drastic Cinematic started off as a make-believe film noir soundtrack, which we debuted live on KSYM radio. It eventually became a real soundtrack in Sabra Booth's animated film, Slick, which screened in the US and Europe. Now this year, following our third UK tour, we contributed vocals to Jeff Bowler's new movie, Smitten 3D, and we also began work on a new CD with Manda Wren. She's a member of the UK top 40 band Bis. Manda is best known in the US for writing and singing the theme song to the Powerpuff Girls cartoon. Nice match. The progress of the CD can be followed in our Facebook recording blog, which offers such helpful hints as how to properly mic a Bee Gees lunchbox, and how to make fire sound effects by mixing pop rocks with 7-Up. Another collaboration this year was with artist Gary Sweeney. As mentioned in Art in America, here's Hyperbubble and Gary Sweeney live at Luminaria. And yes, Gary is using Barbie dolls for drumsticks. Thank you, San Antonio. Good night.
Dude, man, that was awesome. Okay, let's back this up here a little bit. In school, what were you like?
I was the guy sitting in the back.
Yeah.
They told me I'd be a business major.
Were you a musician? Were you an artist? How did you fuse these, and what do you do mostly?
Really just about everything. Of course, being a teacher is a bit of a performance as well. And I did a little bit of community theater. Then my parents cried when I said I didn't want to act. I wanted to be in a band, and now they're probably crying again. Did my mom ever show up?
Hey, Mom, did you have any idea this would take you actually to Europe and places like that, or you just made that all up?
We totally, when we started the band, we said, okay, let's do this for a year. Let's do this was a year or 2 years. Let's do this for a couple of years. It's just for fun. And then we'll get it all out of our systems and we'll be done. And then one thing kept leading to another, and eventually it just kept snowballing. And yeah, we found ourselves in France walking down the street going, wow, how the heck did this happen, man? We were just talking about doing it for a couple of times.
And you're going to keep doing it, South by Southwest, bigger venues if they want it?
Absolutely. We're totally interested in taking on particularly new projects, things that we haven't done before that will keep us interested in, give our audience a chance to check out a new venue as well.
Cool. We'll give it up for the hit man here, Jeff. We're going to take a